Hello, everybody. Welcome. I wanted to talk a little about a question I get often. It's like, how do I start a raw food diet? Somebody contacted me yesterday, and people contact me all the time. They say, I want to go on a raw food diet. I want to eat like you. What should I do? And if that's your idea or your goal, I could explain that. But the real answer is, it's not difficult uh, to switch to a raw food diet from physically doing it. But uh, we've been eating cooked food for a long time, and is it even necessary to go 100% raw? And the answer is no, it's not necessary to go 100% raw unless that's your goal. Now, for some people, uh, having any cooked food will give them feelings of cooked food and it'll be harder, so they want to cut it out completely. And in those cases, then that's great, go 100%. But you got to understand the extra challenge that it creates when you go all raw, because if you leave room for a little cooked food, then socially, if you're out with your friends or if you're somewhere, and cooked food is not poison. Some cooked foods are just fine. However, I'm the type of person, I like to do all raw. I feel it's easier to do all raw than just having a little cooked, so I don't have any feelings for those cooked foods of those flavors. I want them out of me. But how to do raw or how to change to health. So there are many different schools of thoughts on this. Some people say do a fast or something, a juice fast or a cleanse for a certain amount of time, a couple of days, a week or so. You first have to look at things, or I look at things on an individual basis. What's person's goal and where's a person at now with their health and with their diet? So that's the first thing. But the person that came to me yesterday, what I said and what I recommend is you want to first eliminate animal products, become a what is known as a vegan, but it's really, I don't like to really the term plant-based, but you want to eliminate two things from your diet. You want to eliminate processed food and animal products and animals. So anything to do with an animal or the extremely processed foods. Those are the two things. So before focusing on, I want to be all raw and I want to go on a raw food diet, first master those two things. Okay? Now, I know some people that eat a little bit of processed food or they have a little bit of animals in their diet, and you can do it in a way where you're going to get results if you're eliminating the major processed stuff and you're significantly reducing the animals and animal products. However, if your goal is to go on an all raw diet, first accomplish those two things. Get rid of the things that are creating the issues or the things that are probably motivating you to change. Processed food and animal products. So most people will struggle with both of those. Now, if you're struggling with those, you're going to struggle eating a raw food diet because it's not difficult to do, but we're so used to doing certain things. So let go of and this depends if you have time to do it or not. Some people don't have time because they've been diagnosed with something, they got to do it immediately. But let's say for a whole month, you're going to just not do any more animal products. And then for a whole month, you're going to cut out all processed food. Now, you could do it both within those 2 months, but now you've made this change. So now you're eating more of a whole foods diet that's exclusively vegetables, fruits, and nuts and seeds, and maybe some grains. Now, if you're working towards a raw food diet, then start looking at getting rid of the cooked grains and the cooked starches. So the beans, the potatoes, the rice. Start looking at those. So those might be like the third thing you're going to eliminate. And I wrote a book called The Raw Life, and it talks about things we must eliminate. Smoking, obviously, if you're looking to go on a raw food diet, you shouldn't be smoking, but drinking alcohol and things like this. But today, 2025, common things to get rid of. First, start with the animal products and the processed food, the ultra processed foods. Eat more whole foods, plant foods, fruits and vegetables, and you don't want to ignore the ideas of when we should eat and all the food combining ideas and things like this. So it's a little bit more involved, and all this can seem complicated. So what I told the person yesterday when they asked me this, I said, there's two diets that are out there that can put you on the first path. Okay, one of them is called the Nutritarian diet by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. So if you go on Google and you type Nutritarian diet, Dr. Joel Fuhrman, I've had him on many times. his diet pretty much eliminates the processed foods, the animal foods, and he focuses on, he does include grains and cooked starches, I believe, but it puts you on the road, the path. And then there's another place called Hallelujah Acres. And if you go on their website, and I'll put their link below, they have a chart of what foods to replace with what foods. I'll put links to both of these, as a matter of fact, at the bottom of the video here. But both of those can be a great guide in starting out. Either or, they're very similar, so either or a combination of them. But basically, you want to stop doing the animals and the animal products, and cut back on the processed food, the ultra-processed food. Things that come in bags, box containers, or cans. Things that are not going to go bad within a week in your house. They're going to sit in the shelf for a really long time. These foods are highly processed, and this is why many of us get sick. Processed foods, and then the animal products, which are extremely processed. And so these are the place where you would start. Now, different strokes for different folks. Some of you might be watching this or see this and say, well, I don't want to give up eating animals, or I just want to go raw. I'm not interested in giving up processed foods. Well, this video is for people that want to go or work towards eating healthier and achieving a raw food diet, or accomplishing more raw foods. And that's the way to start. That would be the way to start. Now, once you've gotten there, then I could do a phase 2 in another video. But for the first phase, try to get rid of the animal products and the processed food, and also go to look at those 2 diets as a guide. The diet by Joel Fuhrman, Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and also the Hallelujah Acres guide of what foods to give up for what foods, and what percentage of your diet could be raw. And remember, you don't need to be all raw, but it's certainly wonderful and possible to be all raw. You just have to know what you're doing, monitor your blood work, not neglect the other aspects of health, and you'll be okay. And you could do this. So for 30 years now, I've been eating a raw food diet, and it's been easy for me because I've surrounded myself with people and social events that have to do around health. And I lost the cravings for meat and processed foods and all these different things a long time ago. Grains was a little bit challenging because grains are very addicting. Some of you might say, well, what's wrong with grains? Well, there's a lot wrong with grains, but if you want to do grains, some grains are a lot better than others. White rice is better than brown rice. Millet or quinoa is better than brown rice is better than white rice. Don't take my words and take that clip out and put it somewhere else. So brown rice is better than white rice. Millet and quinoa is better than brown rice. So if you are going to consume grains, consume the healthier grains and not the junk grains like the white rice. But it's a little bit more challenging than grains, but you can do it. And anything you do that's better than what you were doing is a step in the right direction. And like I said, if you don't have a diagnosed illness, there's no extreme rush. But some people might recommend go on like a month fast right away for a whole month. And it's hard if you're just giving up processed foods and animal foods one day and you're fasting the next day. Take it gradually, like I'm suggesting, within a couple of months. Get all the processed food out, eat whole foods, go to the guides, look at the guides. And then when you're there doing either the Joel Fuhrman diet or the Hallelujah Acres diet, then if you want to take it to the next level and go all raw, your body's more in a position to do that. But you're going to feel better where you are just doing that, and you could live on that for the rest of your life. But then if you want to go fully raw, then you would just continue to eliminate things that you're eating, the starches, the grains, the cooked beans, and just try to find substitutes for those things. All right, put your comments or questions below, but that's how I recommend you start going raw. There's a lot of raw recipes these days online, raw vegan recipes. Just type that on Google or YouTube and a lot of things will come up. Experiment and see what sounds good to you and what you're liking. All right, let me know how it goes in the comments below. If you have more questions, let me know. Until then, everybody, have a great day. in a great world.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.